Mark, Wayne, welcome along this afternoon. It's good to be here at the NCHA offices, and the place is going crazy at the moment, organising for the big futurity, right on the cusp of the futurity now. Of course, we're talking about the really exciting part for us is the Legacy Select Cutting Bloodstock sale. Mark, a great group of horses ready for the sale on Thursday, the 5th of June.
Yeah, look, mate, it's exciting when you see the effort that goes into trying to get great genetics, but when you add performance with genetic potential, and I think that's the thing we've talked about in the performance horse game. If you can get progeny out of perform mares, and that's what this catalogue really does, is there's genuine performance. I know they've been specially selected. Some exciting Australian and international size represented too. So there's some homegrown stallions that have got terrific progeny, but again, just the strength of the mare lines in this pedigrees are outstanding.
Wayne, really exciting for us from Nutrient's perspective to be partnering with NCHA to deliver what is really quite a new concept, albeit that NCHA has had this younger horse sale in the past. This is a brand new concept this year.
I think it was the opportunity to bring, across all, the NCHA futurity. It's one of the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. It's a great performance event. We tie that with, the leading livestock selling agents, particularly in the equine world here in Australia. And then we add into that mix, as Mark mentioned, some, extraordinary bloodlines. So I think it's a culmination of a lot of great things, should make for an awesome event.
Yeah, so we've talked about the bloodlines, 25, as you say, selected top quality lots that are on offer. 4 of those embryos, the balance yearlings. So talk us through some of those bloodlines that are on offer on the 5th of June.
I think, well, from my point of view, I think one of the things was in the selection process is just, as Mark touched on, the performance lines of the mare line. The dams, grand dams who've won money, have produced money earners. And that's, a lot of people in the performance horse world, but particularly the cutting world, are really chasing those mare lines. That gives them a degree of confidence in what they're purchasing and going to train. The excitement in the embryo, it's a bit of a new format. I think the embryo thing is going to be really exciting about the sale because it's a new concept and it's going to test the waters. And some of the embryos that are available in the sale are quite unique. There's a sniper. He's one of the up-and-coming young sires in the US. That's going to be an exciting opportunity. There's a metallic cat out of an imported mare, Super Tough Kitty. Again, what bloodlines? I know Velvet Quarter Horse Ranch, they've got a really exciting embryo in there out of one of the up-and-coming studs in the US. He was trained by Jesse Lennox and came out of the Rock and P Ranch, where the home metallic cat. So I don't want to forget anyone, but again, I think there's an Aristo Tough, one of our local sires here, out of a really great mare. So again, just lots of opportunities.
And Mark, Wayne's touched on some of those bloodlines, but there's also some reflection back on some quality Australian stock that we've seen competing here in this country.
Look, mate, I guess a couple of things for mine. A third of the catalogue are fillies. So if you look at, I know there's been such a drive to try and create or promote the next best sire in the performance horse industry, and it's a tough gig, it's a tough market. But I've seen a couple of clients that have really focused on getting that foundation mare and that really elite genetics in fillies, and there's some of those here. There's 90 or 26 lots. So go and have a look at your fillies. We know the value of those and how hard they are to breed, a really top end one. Getting back to that, one of those fillies, Aaron Wheatley's got one there by Phaleris. Ebis Phaleris, we're only saying at our Toowoomba sale a couple of weeks ago, the amount of quality brood mares that are coming through that are by Phaleris himself, let alone here you've got one to actually get an own daughter. So, Phaleris is going to, I think, will go down as a terrific all-round horse, but he'll also, I think, he's a fantastic broodmare sire, and his mares are doing a fantastic job. Another one, which I think, again, you mentioned Velvet, Pepto Stylish Oak. Not too many go back to the States to Standard Stud, and I saw photos of him there the other day. The horse as far as being sound and longevity, like the horse he's done an enormous job for the Australian performance horse industry. And you've got an own daughter of Pepto's there that people can jump on. So I think it's really exciting, like you say, that the Sniper, Metallic Cat. But then you look through, like I say, the opportunity to get into filly families or mare families. I think that's probably my highlight.
And Wayne, the vendors themselves, Mark's just touched on the quality that's here. These vendors are genuinely breeding for quality in the cutting industry.
Yeah, they're very specific programs to get that level of progeny, because it's got very competitive. That our world and the performance horse world as a whole has become, you need something pretty good to go out there and pick up those checks. And these vendors, people always wonder why a horse is going up for sale in Australia, but these vendors breed a lot of horses, quality horses, and they need to, promote their stud, promote their breeding programs, get their horses out into the marketplace to get trained. And I think, to me, that's one of the standouts in this line of horses is, you've got a Segala Ray, full brother is already out there, winning major events, and there's a full brother coming up. I think Jose this year was in the Classic, so he won the non-pro derby. Well, there's a full brother to that horse in the sale, so what an opportunity. I noticed too, there's a Stevie Ray Vaughan colt out of a great mare. They're getting hard to get now, and here's an opportunity to buy one. So one of the other vendors, they're talking about with this sale and the development of this sale, is they're going to specifically breed to have an article for this sale every year, out of one of their great mares. I know Jackson and Emma Gray and Phil, they've got a beautiful horse. I've actually seen the filly. She's out of Marilyn Munrock, who's won a heap of money. I'll just quickly remember who that.
Smooth talking style.
Yeah, out of a smooth talking style. Now those smooth talking styles, they've gone camp drafting, they've gone cutting. He's so strong in the US. So what an opportunity for that opportunity to buy a filly like that.
And some great incentives on offer as part of this. Now, of course, Marsh Carney, been a long-time supporter of the NCHA. He remains involved in the incentive program on this event.
Yeah, Marsh is in again this year. It's been it was an initiative with the NCHA and Marsh to promote Marsh Carney Saddlery. Great supporters of not only the cutting but also the performance horse events. And it's been a great reward for vendors that have bought a horse out of the sale, because that $10,000 incentive gets paid out to the highest placing open futurity horse. The horse that won it last year didn't make the futurity final, but the owners walked away with a $10,000 check because it was the highest after the two go rounds. So it's a great opportunity, to get that sort of return on your sale purchase. And then we jump up to the next level, which is, what Nutrien have brought to the table with us this year with some, incredible incentives that Mark can touch on. But I think it's, everyone that I've spoke to, that's the really exciting thing. With one of the big initiatives being that a vendor actually has the opportunity to get a great incentive as well.
Absolutely. So, Mark, Nutrien putting up $150,000 in incentives for this event from a future perspective when we get to see these horses come back at futurity time.
Yeah, no, it's great to give people. Obviously, we've seen where the incentives have really taken off throughout the performance horse industry, and I think this is a great one. Then you add to that, I think there's two parts to it. We've learnt with our own experience where you take away the aged events, which is what this is about, making sure these horses have got a big check to chase as a futurity horse. But once they're out of those aged events, they're also eligible for the over five. So for our graduate program for the Nutrien horses. So these horses, once they come of age, over 5 years of age, they can compete if they want to go down in the performance horse track outside the cutting pen, which I think that's something that's a little bit unique about the Australian performance horse. There is a diversity, but here you've got absolutely bona fide cutting genetics. But like you say, smooth talking style. Like there's a number of these great size EBs Phaleris that have the ability, metallic cat, to have an impact across the board, whether that's, cutting, camp drafting, roan cow, challenge. I think that's what makes the performance horse industry in Australia robust, why it's probably hanging on as well as it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the sale itself, as we've mentioned, takes place 5th of June, Thursday evening, 5:30 the 5th of June, as a part of the Futurity event.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of people there. It'll be in the sale pen at ALEC. I'm expecting that to be full. We've been able to arrange the program that, we won't be late at night. I think we're shooting for a 5:30 a start to the sale. Just right at the finish of the events for the day, and then straight into the sale. Everyone will have seen some horses go around. They'll see the performance of the metallic cats and the Phalaris's and the dual races, on and on we go. And they're going to be able to be there and go buy one,
The online catalogue is now available, so make certain that you jump online, check out that online catalogue. The opportunity to be able to chat with vendors, do some of your own research, all of that information is available there in that online catalogue. And of course, there'll be a hard copy catalogue on the day, Mark.
Yeah, definitely. Auctions Plus will also be available. So there's probably again two parts. Go to the show because it's one of the feature performance horse events on the Australian calendar. Like you're going to have a great day and see some of the best horsemen and women and some of the best horse flesh in the country going around in Tamworth. But then you can look at the horses. Most of those will be available for inspection the day before. Or come and see one of us talk to the nutrient team. But like you say, the Auctions Plus is there if you can't be there to bid on the actual evening. But what's really important for these events for us is that the NCHA team, the guys running the show, have actually made sure that the sale has its own time slot and it's actually a feature of the whole program. It's not just a bolt on, and I think that's where they've been so well supported with this fantastic base of genetics in the catalogue.
Yeah, we didn't want to. Something of this caliber and the support of Nutrien, the incentives are available, the quality of the stock. It couldn't be a bolt on. It had to be a feature. It's in that finals week. On the Thursday night we kick into our big finals, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it will be a real feature, and that's how it'll be highlighted and promoted. Nutrien will be on site. We've got a stand there near the bar for Nutrien. So if you need to speak to any of the guys, but yeah, we're all excited about it. I know people I've been speaking to internally, we're super excited about it, and working with you guys has been fantastic. So I think this is the start of something that's going to become a real, we call it a legacy, and hopefully that'll what it'll be. It'll be a legacy into the future for the performance horse industry.
Thank you, gents. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon. Obviously, we'll be back to talk online and talk a little more about what's on offer in the next couple of weeks as we lead into the sale. But really important, jump on, check out that online catalogue, phone and ask if you've got any questions. Now's the time to do your homework. There's some really quality lots you don't want to miss out. Really exciting. Looking forward to the next couple of weeks in Tamworth.
Yeah,
absolutely. Good on you, mate.
Mark.